Hello and welcome to the 60th episode of the Gochuucast. Those of you on the YouTube side of things can see that, well actually, I guess I'm just gonna be titling this laying Spat to rest so they'll know he's not here. We're in a bit of a bind because of the AX trip, so we're just pre-recording episodes so we can have those posted during that time. And times did not line up for ye old Spatula to get one of these episodes out. He'll be back in the next one, even though that'll be pre-recorded. But anyway, he'll be gone for this one.
Yep. And he's going out fishing.
Yes.
So let's go. He's gonna bring so much fish back. We're gonna have a feast.
I ain't adding a fish into the next podcast episode. But
not that this should be surprising, but just as I look at AnyList for the first time today, and things that I didn't know about, next Arc of Demon Slayer is confirmed, which, like I said, not surprising.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I literally don't even remember this arc. I mean, I think it's like 10 chapters anyway, but
yeah, it's not long. I think they're I don't know what the plan exactly is, to have it as like a season arc that's announced like this. I guess they haven't. I guess maybe they haven't really said it's a season or anything. So
they just said
maybe
they're
it also,
adapting the arc, so maybe
it
they'll just
also
do like an
could be
OVA.
like a couple OVAs.
Yeah.
I would think like 2, unless like one long OVA, because it still could probably get you like a good like 2-3 normal length episodes. But yeah, that got confirmed today-ish, I assume.
Yeah, the finale for the season was today, so
Yeah, that's what. Which exciting for Demon Slayer fans. I don't know. I still need to watch all of Swordsmith.
I gotta watch the finale. That shit's like an hour long though, and I don't know if I can deal with that.
Isn't it an hour? Oh boy.
It's like 50 something minutes, I think.
I guess at least it's a finale episode, so there'll be some hype to it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I did watch the first 3 episodes of a new anime over the last couple days.
What would that be?
It was Utaware Rumuno.
Wuto. What?
Utaware Rumuno.
Oh.
Here,
Is that the false mask or whatever?
yes, but
Is
it's
it the other
original...
one? The
yeah.
truth mask or some shit?
Because my understanding is the false faces and all of the rest of them are all sequels to this.
I see.
And man, it was good. I enjoyed the first 3 episodes, but man, did this feel very 2006 in a way. That's how I would put it. But the first 3 episodes are really good. I liked it. I kind of don't know when the show is gonna get to being like a show and not just like a flavor of the day as it goes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the top review and it doesn't look like it's ever gonna do that.
That's also fair.
A horrible show
Yeah,
with mediocre animation, bad characters, and a laughable story. Cute girls, though.
That's fair. Okay, but when was this written? I assume not 2006. So, yeah, it even says on here the show is for the mid 2000s, so it should be given some slack. I'm not necessarily watching this season expecting it to be goated anyway. I think I've just heard really good things about the false faces and the Mask of Truth and all the the newer ones. And so I'm like, I should probably start with the old one because that would make sense. Um, although I don't know if they're related or not. Off a glance, I think it's loosely related. The character lists make it seem like there's at least some sort of relation.
Hey, the director's done some relatively high-profile stuff, you know. Steins Gate. Monster, he did some episodes for.
Yeah. And a few things on here. But yeah, it's been a fun watch. Who knows when I'll end up watching more, because I'm watching it in a group setting. And that's going to be very inconsistent for me over the next few weeks.
A little bit.
We'll see how that continues. But I did enjoy the first couple episodes of that.
Yeah, I'm in this awkward realm where I haven't watched literally anything. I like lightly caught up on some seasonals to the point where I'm only demonically behind on Koisugi Crisis and Kizuna anime.
The two that you don't want to watch.
Yeah, Koisugi Crisis is one thing. I can slog through that, but Kizuna anime, oh my god. It's gonna be a rough one.
I'm demon behind on a few things, including 19 episodes of Vinland Saga Season 2 that
The finale of that airs tomorrow at the time of recording.
Yep. So 20 episodes seem to be behind of that. But that was kind of on purpose, but now with like the hindsight and foresight of like my next month or so, I'm also like, man, when the frick am I gonna get around to watching that?
Yeah.
There's a few others. I still have half of the Dr. Stone season. Obviously, like I said, I have all of Swordsmith, which that's fine. I think Demon Slayer is probably made to be binged and not watched weekly.
A little bit. Yeah, after this recording, I'll probably try and catch up on all the shit that I'm one episode behind on. And then tomorrow will be the end of the Kizuna anime, and so I guess I'll just binge it to the end, slap like a 1 or a 2 on it, and be done with it forever.
Can just suffer.
It's actually just so... we're 7... okay, I'm 7 episodes in. The anime's on 11, about to go to 12. There are 5 characters in this visual. I have met 3 in 7 episodes. I cannot imagine how they're going to squeeze 2 more in this time period. Nor can I imagine how they can conclude the story.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I guess most of what I've heard about it is really here, so I probably need to like temper my expectations, because I'm sure there's also diehard fans.
Surely, there's no fucking chance that anyone's a fan of this shit. I'd like to meet a fan of this anime. I pick their brain.
The ratings are hilarious. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
Let me see. I have one friend who dropped it, and just you and Toshi watching it. And 2 more friends, one paused it, and one just has it on plan. So my immediate friends do not make it look very desirable either.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Crunchyroll page for it. It has a 2.9 on Crunchyroll, so that's pretty fucking awful, because I think most I was first thinking, oh, yeah, all their reviews. Okay, let's look at some 4-star reviews for the Kizuna anime here. Let's see. When do they... April 3rd. When does this fucking anime come out? April 4th? Brother. What?
Brother.
My brother in Christ, you gave it a 4-star before it even came out? Or maybe did it air a little early? I don't know, because they seem like they met the main character. The main character seems interesting enough, brother. Oh my god, you should have watched 2 episodes, you would have realized that's not the case. People aren't understanding the source material. There is no source material.
What source material?
I think maybe by source material they mean like Kizuna, because like they use the Kizuna style of like animation for their performances with like the 3D stuff, but like which on its own doesn't look horrible, but the performances are so boring and uninspired that like it looks bad.
See, and like that sucks for me to hear because that would be the thing that I would want out of this would just be at least have like good performances, music, stuff like that. Um, 'Cause yeah, really, that would be honestly all it would take for me to be like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a watch. I don't have any real interest in Kizuna Eye or any of that like scene by any means, but honestly, at this point, anything that has good music, cute girls, pretty much I'll get into at some point.
Yeah, I'm just looking through these reviews. I'm surprised some people how these aren't real people. Surely these are bots. I wish people like went more in depth in their reviews.
Yeah, instead of just being like,
This is
yeah, it was
good.
okay, 3 out of 10, and then it's like, why did you even write a review?
No, it's not even that. This show deserves those type of bad reviews, but it's the good reviews that I wish people here at least would have gone more in depth.
So then you could at least understand. Well, maybe not understand, but you could at least like hear what they're saying.
Yeah, like I just I don't understand. There's one person who gave fuck, let me find it. I already lost it. How did I already
Joke.
lose it? There's like fucking 20 reviews. Oh my god. But they were like they were talking about some of the different aspects of the show, and all of them were definitely lies. Okay, time to control F. Let's see here. What would be the best keywords to put in so I don't actually find the other reviews? What? That was in their fucking. Oh my god. No results found. It's just got. They like, deleted their fucking thing as I'm reading it.
Yeah, I don't even know how you generally find the reviews. I just kind of go to the home pages of stuff and then hope it's there. I
Yeah,
guess there is a reviews
yeah, you
section.
just go down and then. Oh,
Oh shit, there's a lot of Demon Slayer reviews right now. As it makes sense. Um,
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like one of the shows that. What's it called? Just has most people are gonna be watching, so people are gonna leave reviews.
yeah. I always think it's funny when there's reviews for really old shows like Cowboy Bebop. There's a review for, um, and it's like fair because they probably just watched it. But also, do we really need to review Cowboy Bebop in 2023?
Okay, I found the review. I
Okay.
just thought it was part of a different one instead of this really long one. They said the voice acting is great. The voice acting is not great. It's okay at best. The art is
Oh,
high quality. The art is not high quality. Like you look at the like the key visual and it doesn't look that bad, but then you're like actually watching the anime and it's like extremely generic. Let's see.
yeah, because everything I see of it doesn't really tell me much, but it's like it looks good enough from
Yeah,
just like normal art.
there are charming art style switches. There are no art style switches. Only when they switch to the 3D, and it's not a charming switch. That's for sure. It's the 99th highest rated anime
I think that's
of the
also
year.
like that's a really weird sentence to be charming art style changes. That I feel like there's some word they're using incorrectly there. Because generally we've had the whole animation versus art style conversation on here before. And it kind of comes back to that. Generally, changing art style is a very jarring thing and isn't really used for like normal usage. It's used for like gags most of the time.
Yeah, like a Bochi type of thing where it switches
Yeah,
from the 2D animation to like putting Bochi in blend and throwing her into cubes or something.
yeah, and it's like that just from this show topic, even not knowing what you've said about it. When it show's topic, it sounds weird for it to have like art style changes. I understand animation if you're saying they do like the 3D concerts, but they're normally 2D stuff like that. I've seen that before and stuff, but it's weird to talk about art style changes.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't actually change art style, like literally ever, unless something happened in the.
In the
Well, they
episode
put this review up in the 11th of April, so it would have been 2 episodes out at that point, and they certainly didn't do anything special in those two. Should look at more reviews now on other shows.
yeah.
I just gotta find like. Let me look at
The
the most
problem
garbage
is
anime I have and see reviews,
yeah,
good reviews for them.
I don't know. There's like some funny. Ah, yes, I found the review of Girlfriend Girlfriend. That's exactly what we needed.
High Dive doesn't have reviews. I can't look at what people have to say about Redo Healer.
There's a really funny one that a review of Oremo that I see here that just says I was lied to. This Emoto is not cute at all. And I just think that's a funny like tagline. I'm not clicking on this review, but it's a funny tagline.
There's some Orient reviews. Orient is a 4.4? God, dude. That's how you know the fucking He's an Eye anime is bad. 284 reviews. Ignore the rating. This show is fire. What? The rating's fine.
What?
I don't understand. Is like anything under like a. It's control a wild ass rating system where if it's not above like a 4.8, it sucks.
Review Starlight rating. That's a fire one. It says one of the most unique, thrilling, and ultimately satisfying experiences of all time. There you go. There's your review, Starlight. They gave it 95 out of 100.
Had to drop it at episode 4, which is 1 over the 3 episode rule, so I was really generous.
I respect people who put reviews of One Piece up. Because that means that you watched through all of One Piece just to give it a 7 out of 10. And honestly, I think it's better than a 7 out of 10, but if you watched every episode, all 1,000 of them, and came to the conclusion it's a 7 out of 10, I can't even disrespect that.
I can't wait to one day watch Naruto and give it a 6.
Naruto was my childhood. That's
I'm gonna give your childhood a 6.
that's fair. Honestly, I think now that I've like watched a lot of things, um I still like Naruto and I
I thought you died for a
how do
second.
I did die for a second.
Brain shut off.
Um I like Naruto a lot growing up. I still like it quite a bit. I think that there's a lot more things now that I just have higher in general than Naruto, but it will always kind of have that like place, right?
Yeah.
But like if I was rating Naruto now versus a lot of the stuff I've watched, and I don't know what I rate it currently. Let me go look. Naruto, I currently have rated Shippuden as an 83. Shippuden's an 83, right next to Tokyo Revengers. That's kind of funny, the first season. And then the OG is an 81. right next to Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho needs to be bumped up then. But yeah, that kind of speaks to it pretty well, though. I like Naruto a lot because I grew up with it. It's more or less my actual entry into anime, but I just think there's a lot of stuff that I've watched now that I enjoyed more as an overall experience.
Yeah.
I also think there's something of like when you have a show, as not necessarily as old, but a show like a Naruto or a Dragon Ball for you that kind of like paved the way for a lot of these shows. And it's one of those things where it goes both ways. Of those shows take things from the older shows to drive their story, so it's like the copycat angle, blah blah blah. But then the old shows also have had a lot of their plot lines just done, and in a lot of cases done better.
Yeah. I mean, I'll ask the question if I'll ever. I say I'll watch it one day. I doubt I'll watch it one day. So I haven't watched anything like super hyper long running since probably Dragon Ball Super, I guess, but I was watching that weekly, so that's like completely different.
Yeah.
So it'd probably like go all the way back to Fairy Tail in 2014 or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I doubt I'll never watch Naruto. I'll have to shit on it as if I have watched it, even though I haven't.
I mean, it's shonen. Like, I know your opinions on shonens are very mixed. Um, so I don't really know where I would expect you to land with Naruto, because I think Naruto has some really good moments, but it also has some really dated gags.
I can survive
And
dated gags, but I think my main concern is that if this bitch is like 700 episodes, is it gonna be worth it's gonna be worth 700 episodes?
it's gonna be worth it. So, um, there is about 80 episodes you can skip, by the way, from
Yeah,
just
I would
the
definitely skip the filler.
um because the filler is basically just, oh, I love these characters so much, I want to spend 80 more episodes with them type of filler, which is fine, but maybe not when you're trying to finish the actual story to have like a 6-month excursion watching all the Naruto filler. Um, I think the first season of Naruto is really good and has a lot of good moments once you get past the first couple episodes, because the first couple episodes are a bit cringe, and there's a lot of cringe gags that happen in the first season. When
Mm,
you get to Shippuden, it takes kind of this like older, more serious feel to it, and I don't necessarily think it's worse, but I think with just when I think of Naruto and the vibe of Naruto, I just resonate more with the original series and not the Shippuden series. There's also some of the Shippuden arcs are crazy long, and anyone who's watched Naruto knows exactly which arc I'm talking about. I won't say the name of the arc because sadly I cannot say it without spoiling what it's about.
I mean, I've probably been spoiled on plenty of Naruto stuff. Not that I particularly care, but
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything I can say to you that would actually be something that you have never heard about Naruto before. However, I still will not. Um, but I feel like for me personally, if you were just wanting to watch a long running shonen, I would tell you to watch Yu Yu Hakusho.
yeah, good thing I'm not in the
So
market for a long run in Shonen.
yeah, that's
Anyway,
fair. Just as like my opinion on where Naruto stands for me now, I would recommend several other things first.
yeah, right now, one, I gotta catch up with my seasonals, and then I'm gonna finish Slime 300, and then
Yeah,
I'll probably have like Hibike as like a side bitch that I watch an episode every now and then. While I just, I said, I said sometime in 2022. I don't remember exactly when.
yeah,
I
you
think
have said that
that
you want to.
I was
do
like,
all of those.
yeah, I'm like, no, I'm gonna finish Monogatari by the end of this year. I still haven't watched anything since Kizu Monogatari, and I don't remember when I did that. I can look it up.
It's been a while. I'm pretty sure.
Kizu Monogatari.
Like maybe this year.
I know damn well. Why is it not showing the? Is it like separate words on here? I don't. Okay, to my list. I don't know why the search button's not working. Yeah, I finished the third movie in August of 2022.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Going up almost a
Honestly,
year.
I gave you too much credit. I gave you too much credit. I said maybe this year, and it has been almost a full year.
It was definitely not this year.
Which is fair. But then you also were like, I'm gonna watch all of the Love Lives like right now.
I haven't watched The Love Live since let's check in on School Idol Project season 2. Let's see. That's Love Live movie. Let's see. Prequel. I've not watched this since a week after I finished the Q's Monogatari. Which honestly, I'm surprised that I finished it that fast.
Yeah, surprised you actually watched it
Yeah.
at a normal rate.
The movie's almost 2 hours. How?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's gonna be rough.
Okay, Daniel. Every season you have your idol backlog grows more.
Oh fuck! I'm probably into like
I'm
slash
pretty sure.
Bang Dream off the fucking thing for sure. There's no chance. I'm getting through all of those.
You'd be lucky. So the problem with Bandori is the second and third seasons are very good, and all the side stories and everything, if you're into the characters, are like very well produced and all of that. And the new one's gonna probably be great. But the first season of Bandori is an absolute disaster. And that's been the problem for Mars too. Mars watched the first season, and now I couldn't pay him to watch the second season at any point in time. I will make him watch it at some point, but I haven't been rushing it because I kind of want him to have some distance from how bad his opinion of the first season was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like you would be the same, where you would get through the first season, maybe after a very long time, and just not want to touch the series.
Yeah, the issue if I touch the first season, I have to touch the other two seasons.
Yeah.
So.
Like you are in more of an obligation. It's fine. This next season only adds a Nijigasaki OVA. I guess if we count,
there is a fantasy isekai spinoff.
If we count the native isekai, do we know? We don't know yet.
I mean, surely it's it's.
I mean, it's
real world characters in a isekai fantasy world. Surely it's just an isekai.
Yeah, but what if they just have their own backstories in the world because they didn't want to make it an isekai, and instead they were like, what if they just always lived in a fantasy world? It is the first anime to earn $1 yohillion, so
yeah, I can't wait to hate the character and then I'm gonna go into her own super April Fool spin-off.
Yohane? I don't think you'll like Yohane very much.
Classic.
I don't know if you'll hate her, but I don't think you will like Yohane.
Yeah, I don't, we'll see. I know nothing about any character in Love Live that, I haven't met at this point, so...
I think the Sunshine characters might have some of my favorite written characters. The way I would put it is probably Sunshine has the strongest characters, Nijigasaki has the best music, and OG is iconic. That's all they got going for them. I don't know. Muse is fine, but I think Muse has one good song.
Muse has Snow Halation, nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. They have one good song. That one good song is a banger and carries them. And then I also feel like Muse is kind of just more basic characters, I guess I would say. They're not bad,
They're definitely all tropey.
but yeah, exactly. Which makes some sense because it's older and it's the first Love Live. And since then, obviously some of the tropes been reused, but also time has passed, other tropes exist and stuff like that. So Muse kind of just feels like uh, worse than the others. Because if you look at something like Superstar, for example, Superstar is 7 years later in real life. 7 years later. And so
Yeah.
like some of these characters have similar personalities to other Love Live characters, but they've also had so much more like time and experience writing the characters that the ones that are similar even are just like vast improvements in writing quality because Love Live is now something that is like a big deal and not just an experiment that they didn't know what was going to happen with it.
Yeah. Update my list here. I think I have to... Fucking damn it. I forgot. Because when I made my list, I forgot to put Suki Monogatari in there. Let's see. After Hana. Okay. Let's see. Because I don't feel like moving all of these. After Suki Monogatari, we'll throw in a funny... We'll put Idly Pride in there as a
Yeah.
placeholder.
Funny. Yeah, since you flamed out of the game in like 10 minutes flat.
Dude,
It was the
I
fastest
got
I've
through
ever
the
seen.
tutorial and I'm like, fuck, man. I didn't no chance. And it kept telling me to set my birthday in my profile, and I didn't give me a fucking option in my profile or anywhere else I looked. I'm like, you know what? I can't take this notification showing up every 3 seconds.
It definitely gave you an option in your profile.
It didn't. It wasn't there. It was not there.
I just thought it was funny. Game launches were all like re-rolling. It's been 10 minutes or something like that, and you come into the chat and you're like, "Yeah, I'm not ever playing this game again." And I was like, understandable. This is the result I expected. I just thought maybe we would get through a night before you were like, "This shit sucks."
Yeah, no, I don't know about that one. I'll stick with Project Sakai as my gotcha.
That is fair. They are doing just started today a Hatsune Miku collab in Idly Pride, which already it's not new, obviously. Like this was a collab that was done at JP and everything, and has a song affiliated with, and I heard the song a million times. It's not new. I just didn't realize that we were going to be getting the collab like now, 3 weeks into global.
It's been 3 weeks?
Something like that. Probably a little less.
There's no way it's been 3 weeks.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I looked at my login streak and it was like 17 or 18 or something like that. But maybe I misread it. It came out on the 1st, didn't it? I guess that's.
Did it come out on the 1st?
I thought it came out on
Yeah,
the
let me
1st.
look when I quit the game.
I think it was 2.5 weeks. Either way, there's a Hatsune Miku collab that came out today now, which is another one of those collabs that I feel every gacha game does nowadays.
Yeah,
It's fine. If ReZero comes into Idly Pride, I would be shocked. So
I wouldn't be that shocked. They collab with literally everyone.
I know they collab everyone, but how? I shouldn't ask how. It's obvious how. They just make some random event. They give costumes to all the girls. Maybe we get a limited idol Amelia or something,
Did
and
fucking
they call it a day.
did they remove the? I'll make it probably get streamer modes on or some shit, but it won't let me search like from me, so I can like see when I quit the game. I now have to like figure out which super specific set of keywords would allow me to. Oh. Nope.
Well,
Never mind. I thought I found it. I didn't find it. Yes, this is Cope. I guess I can literally just look up Idly Pride.
I mean, yeah, good.
Global release date. It was June 1st. What the fuck?
Yeah,
It's like not quite 3 weeks. That's still longer
yeah.
than I feel like it was.
I don't know, because we've been through already like 2 PvP seasons and like a little clan war season and all
Clan
that type.
Wars.
Yeah.
What even is the
So
gameplay? I went through the tutorial. I don't know what, like I literally just clicked on the thing and it does everything for you. Like I don't
it's
understand.
yeah, it's an idle game. So what it would be is it'll give you the lanes the same as how you would have a rhythm game, and what you would need to do is set up your characters in the correct lanes so they're like getting buffs at the right time and scoring like the most points.
All right, but you literally just lock them in before the thing, and the rest is just cope.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more of like strategy and simulation stuff and less of just
See, I'm fine with
um
simulation, but it's like
like
such
game.
a lack of interaction with the simulation. I mean, I guess like
Yeah.
you have a bit outside of there. I don't know. I wouldn't have. There's too much with the UI isn't monkey enough, I guess, for me to just be clicking around and doing shit. And so yeah, I don't know. Not interactive enough, even though you can get like I don't know, like messaging with your members and stuff is interesting, I guess, but I don't need to be like, okay, fucking go practice, go do this, go do that. It's too much.
Yeah. I think now that I've played the game a lot, and I've gotten to the point where I have a high rank and have pushed a lot of the content, so I can just kind of chill. It's a lot easier, but the first couple days of playing it, I was sick, so I didn't have anything better to do. But I was still kind of like just playing most of the day to get through content because that's what everyone was doing, and you could easily get through a ton of the content.
Yeah, it probably doesn't help that I haven't watched the anime either, and I think you probably meet characters in the game in that, and so I had negative attachment.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly would have helped. I don't necessarily think watching the anime. Well, I think it's a requirement because you would get spoiled on some important stuff.
I already got spoiled
I
on
don't
the
think,
big thing, so it doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
exactly. I don't think it's a requirement for the reason of like being attached to the characters, although it certainly helps. But yeah, the big thing is definitely something that it would be better if you didn't get spoiled on.
Yeah, I got spoiled on that while it
However,
was airing, so that was something.
yeah, that is also fair.
I remember because it was multiple years ago when I started to do the idols slash Monogatari thing. But Lugia had like I think he recently finished it or something, and he's like, "Oh, you should add this to your idol list here." And he's like, "This is I'm not gonna spoil it, but it made me cry." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I just put in the
Yeah,
spoilers in spoiler text what happened. He's like, "No, no."
dang, that's
Yeah,
fair.
it was Instagram spoil moment.
It's good. It's a very different because the with idol anime, there's kind of two different types of idol anime you get. There's the Love Live type, which is there in school, and it's like a school club or something like that, or they just happen to be, you know, doing band or idol stuff on the side. And then Idly Pride is more of the this is your job type of setting where it's an agency and all that jazz. And there's
Yeah,
not a big difference between them. Idolmaster is also a lot of that type of stuff where it's an agency that these girls have signed on to, which feels really creepy the way it's set up. But obviously it's an
idol
anime, so
moment.
it's chill, right? But like the way the agencies are, it's just like dudes in a suit who will just like go find girls and just be like, "Hey, you look like you could be an idol."
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's that's something to consider, but it's fun to kind of after you've watched a bunch of the Love Lives to also kind of get a taste of that other side as well.
Yeah, Oshinoko, my favorite idol anime.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'll watch the ones I have planned, and then I don't know if I'll ever continue through going through anymore.
I would be very surprised if you actually got into any idol content. Because at the end of the day, I don't think it's that you wouldn't like the music, but I do think
Is suffering through the
that you
show
have
worth the music?
yeah. Well, it's also like I think you have to like the characters. You have to like to really get into idol stuff, right? Like the problem that sucked me into all of this was that I really enjoy all of the music. In fact, Idly Pride, I was listening to the music before I was even watching the show. So, and that actually happens to me with a lot of stuff. So, for you, I find it harder to see you getting into any of this stuff unless you just watch one or two and then you were like, I really heckin' love the idol character type.
Yeah,
Um, which I just don't see happening. But technically, that is a way it could happen.
yeah. I don't know.
That's fine. You'll watch the Love Lives. That's and a few other
At
things.
least
That'll be enough.
Muse will never come back. Surely.
Sure, surely Muse will never make an appearance in any of the sequel series.
Surely not. Hopefully not. Better not be for more than like 5 minutes if they do.
Imagine you started Sunshine and they were like, "Yeah, Muse is the secret final boss that we have to defeat." How would,
I would,
how
you know
would
what?
that make
I'd be
you
on the
feel?
Sunshine train. Let's take down Muse.
Let's take down Muse.
Fuck Muse, yeah. They can't perform snow halation to like multiple times to beat you. You'll be fine.
I know there are games that do that gimmick, but I do think it would be fun to have like an anime, um, where the main character of the previous season is the main antagonist of the new season.
That's just Pokemon Gold and Silver, technically.
I know. Technically, we might have had this conversation too. Now that I think about it, but I do think it would be fun to have something like that. And like I said, I know that there's a game that does it, where it's like you beat the game, and then the character that you used as the game is the final boss. I don't remember what it was though. I'm not finding it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can definitely write shows like that. It's just more. They probably have to be originals, I guess, or it'd have to be like this is more complicated with like Japanese media because usually there's a lot of longer running things instead of like maybe you have one novel with one person, one novel with another, and then you can combine those
Yeah,
into an anime format. It's just not as simple.
yeah. It also is kind of hard, I think, to get people to buy into it. Um, it's already hard enough to get people to buy into like major character deaths or anything like that,
Yeah,
realistically. And it's even harder to be like, we're gonna spend a 12 or 24 episode season with this character, and then we're just gonna go to a new character. And then also the old character that you've grown attached to now is gonna be the bad guy. I think it'd have to be a really compelling plot line and like reasoning behind that for people to really get into it.
I guess on like a technical level, there's an anime slash manga series that I'm not gonna mention in case there's a certain somebody watching this that has that develop. I just like literally just type it into. I'm stupid.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, this anime technically does that in a technical sense. Technically,
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of too. Yeah, kind of. I guess that
there's
to a
layers to it,
degree,
I guess,
yeah, to a degree that makes sense.
and it was done like dog shit because of how it ended. But that's besides the point.
I mean, I guess this is a bit of we've talked about um 86 a lot, so I don't mind mentioning it. Um Not really 86 spoilers, but if you haven't watched 86 and you're worried about hearing anything about it, don't listen to the next few minutes probably. But this was the big theory that a lot of people had when 86 season 1 ended.
That like
Also, was
Shin would be a Robo, because
yeah,
yeah,
and so it would become like Shin versus Lena for the next like part of the series, which would have been interesting. I don't feel like I would have liked it, but um, yeah, it would have been interesting. I don't know. I like how it's developed now, but there's some really interesting things that 86 could have done the way that the first novel ended.
I mean yeah, because it was like technically open ended.
Yeah, I mean, it was they could have just went clean slate and focused entirely on Lena with like no allies at that point. Basically, they could have had that plot line where the members of the Spearhead Squadron are essentially just the big bads that we have to defeat. There's some
Yeah,
other interesting ones, but they might be a little bit of Volume 4 spoilers, so
yeah.
I won't.
Preferably don't do that. Yes.
I'm like thinking in my head, and I'm like, are they spoilers? And I'm like, I don't think so, but I also don't want to say it just in case.
Yeah, just or somehow I'm really surprised I haven't gotten spoiled on literally anything. I guess it's light novel. It's much harder, but I would have thought by now like some bullshit would have popped up on my Twitter timeline.
Yeah, I don't
So
know. I don't somehow I don't get very much anime content on my Twitter except for One Piece, of course. Because I have a disease.
yeah,
But
I get I don't really get anything on my main, but on my like on my YouTube's, that's like where all the anime stuff gets like sectioned off. And so I'll see stuff every now and then there. And I don't know. I have multiple Oshinoko accounts blocked slash muted because motherfuckers cannot keep manga leaks themselves.
yep.
I don't know. It's I fucking hate. I mean, I've already said before. I hate raw manga leak drops. Put that
Yeah.
bitch behind a spoiler.
Even if it's something I know, like I see all the One Piece theory accounts and everything, and they'll just have stuff posted broad. I'm just kind of like, that's a big deal if someone just stumbled upon this post without meaning to. Obviously, it's stuff that doesn't affect me, and that's part of the reason why I'm in their algorithm. But still, I don't know. Anytime I see raw spoilers, it's just a little bit of a cringe.
Yeah, like I don't know. People just don't understand like because when you're reading something, your eyes jump around kind of. It's not like you can just. It's like you're reading word by word entirely. You have all of them in your face, and even when you go to like maybe you realize it's about to delve into a spoiler, and then you're starting to look away, your brain's still gonna like process that information, even if you don't read it with a little voice in your head.
Hmm. I definitely feel like sometimes I see spoilers that I don't even register as a spoiler, and then I just randomly find my way in the comments, and someone's like, "Oh, you should have, not spoiled that or something," and then I like look back, and I'm like, "Oh, whoops." I think that happened to me with Attack on Titan at one point too, way back when I had been reading the manga, and I had went to some thread or something, and there just been a raw spoiler, and I didn't like even think about it until someone mentioned it was a spoiler, and I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah, people on like Instagram would always post like Attack on Titan leaks. It was so fucking annoying. Some people use like floor warnings because Instagram you can swipe between photos. So thank fuck for those people, but not everyone does that, unfortunately, because we live in a world where people care more about the engagement than the and like just being a
Yeah,
decent person. Having the, I will say, when Kage manga was still going on, all the Kage accounts were all based and just you spoiled whatever's. Like I've never rarely ever run into like a a late game like Kaguya post that wasn't spoiler tagged. I don't know. I feel like more social media places could implement something for spoilers, but I guess they're not really interested in doing that because they're more interested in serving you content you might that'll like grab your attention as opposed to anything. I don't know. Like, take my data. Don't spoil me on shit that I'm watching, please.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's hard because there's so much information out there now that, especially for weeklies, like I read a lot of the leaks and stuff for One Piece content
Yeah.
early, and then now I'm at the point where I can never go back. Physically could never go back because all of that is just in the algorithm for my Twitter and everything. And it's just impossible for me to not see all that content now because it's just always going to be in my feed. Even if I don't think about it or want to see the leaks, I log into Twitter and then I see at the top post, oh, One Piece chapter 2573, Luffy dies or something like that. And I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'll have to read the leaks.
I just saw some fucking extremely cursed Oshino code fan fiction.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna go into it, but
Yeah, please don't.
because I got on Twitter because I was just talking about leaks. It's like multiple accounts that I follow now. Just like so many people just have an in to the like so many different parts of the industry. I'm like, what? Like, where do you even get all this shit? Because I guess I don't even know. Not that I think any random Japanese accounts could or like companies would find our podcast and kill me for saying some of these things that have been leaked. Allegedly, of course. I didn't say this. Someone else said this. There's gonna be a Sekiro anime. And its announcement is allegedly soon. Allegedly.
But there's also, I feel like a lot of that stuff in the background happens or gets rumored, and because I remember a long time ago there were talks about what was the movie? There was some movie. Was it Legend of Zelda? I It was some video game movie adaptation that there was a lot of rumors of in the past, like a lot of like really credible rumors too, and then it just kind of died. Never happened. I don't think it was Zelda. Maybe it was.
Yeah. I mean, the leak accounts that I look at, though, I do trust, because
Yeah.
multiple of them leaked that The Dangers in My Heart was going to have a season 2 before it ended and announced that it would have a season 2. So they obviously have they have an in somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't say that to say like, oh yeah, stuff like this gets thrown around all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of
sometimes things
bullshit.
do fizzle out. Like, maybe there was a Zelda movie and it just didn't get it, like got stuck in production hell or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I wonder when they start talking about stuff like that, what phase something like that would be in.
Yeah,
I
if
mean, by the
it's
sound of
about to
it,
be announced allegedly, then it would probably be like later in development.
probably
But
in too deep. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing this, is because Sekiro is like probably the most story heavy of like the Souls likes.
Yep.
Because it actually has like a pretty easy to follow narrative. I wonder if they're using this because I think with Elden Ring they mentioned they want to make it more like a franchise than just a game. So I'm wondering if they might like be using this to test the waters, maybe on how like a Souls like anime would go.
Yeah. It's an interesting thought. Obviously, I have not played any of the Souls like games, so I couldn't tell you any of that. But we did talk about it before, and talk about how there's like big lore and all that type of stuff. So I believe you. when I say that something like that could be interesting.
Yeah, could be. And also, Sekiro would be a fun one because the combat in Sekiro is much different than like the typical Souls stuff. Because normally in Souls games, it's like, you know, you have the iframe roll, the classic that gets used in like every Souls like.
Hmm.
But in Sekiro, the game is more focused around parrying.
In
And so that could,
Sekiro, I can swim through the air.
yeah,
Have you seen
yeah,
the
speed
speedruns
runs, yeah,
on it?
they're so funny.
The Sekiro speedruns are hilarious.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it's because it's all like samurai content,
yeah,
and stuff like that. Whereas in those other Souls like games are more of just choose your own adventure in terms like weapons.
yeah, like in Sekiro, you can grab like there's I guess some like side weapons you can use, but generally you're stuck with the base sword that you have, and you don't really need to like upgrade it particularly. And so I mean, I guess it makes it easier to streamline as an anime, but also I feel like the combat, if it gets a good studio, it could be a fun anime if they use the parrying as like interesting fights, I guess, as opposed to like monkey. So I feel like a lot of anime with like sword fights do not accurately represent how a sword fight would really go.
Hmm.
You know, because they just be swinging them shits like
Yeah,
they're Kirito,
I do agree.
and so I wonder if like it's not that like Sekiro is like the epitome of sword fight realism, but probably more realistic than like a SAO or any other fantasy anime out there.
What do you mean you don't love watching Kirito just chuck a sword
You know,
full
he'd just be
full blast
swinging that
at
shit.
someone? Yeah. Uh, it'd be interesting. I'd probably watch it, to be honest, even though I've never played Sekiro. Everything I know about it and watching the speedruns, I would at least have some attachment to it more than freaking putting on my plan to watch the Ryza Atelier.
Yeah,
And
I mean I
that's
have no
coming out.
attachment to that as well, but you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm putting all my faith in the in the power of the thigh.
You know, amen though.
Yeah, they had me with the PV.
I haven't watched the PV yet, actually.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
I'll probably watch that after this.
Well, I mean, really, with the I didn't guess I didn't watch the PV either. Uh,
Saw pictures of the PV.
yeah,
That was
I saw
yeah,
the GIF of the PV, which was basically the link that I posted last time we recorded, and
yeah.
with the anime trailer, but only the best parts. Yeah, that was enough. That was enough for me. I didn't need to see the see the PV, so I got no clue what this bitch is about. Apparently the first episode is a 60-minute runtime.
That's interesting. I feel like that's becoming more common is with longer episode, either first episodes or last episodes. I know it's been a thing, obviously.
Yeah.
Hell, one of my favorite series is Fate, and Fate does it all the time. But I feel like it was very rare over the last few years to see that happen, and now it's every season. I feel like we're starting to get something that has at least one longer episode.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing, though. I'd rather have the little mini movie, but it covers the proper amount of content.
And animated by Linden Films, which means it could mean two things. We're either getting Tokyo Revengers level art, or we're getting like Call of the Night / Insomniacs level.
There's no in between.
Yeah, the the Tokyo Revengers team is stuck with Tokyo Revengers because that apparently that got announced for fall, which like I don't know. Considering the second season also like I guess they did two core the first time they did it, but that wasn't that long ago. Like it was a couple of years ago now that they did a two core for season one, and now they're doing like not split core, but like yeah, I don't know. I feel like they be pushing them bitches out pretty quick. I don't know. I am sad though, because my I don't believe my alternative watching site has a 4x speed button, so I don't know how I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah, I will not be getting through it.
Understandable.
I don't know. I actually haven't finished Tokyo Revengers still technically, but I read a good chunk of it and still need to finish the final arc. And there was some good in it, but there was also some not good in it. So I have no big opinions like you guys, but that's also because I didn't watch the anime, which I've heard was not the best.
Yeah, the anime is like average, and then when you talk about average, you know, it's like generic art style and animation, and then you combine that with Tokyo Revengers being Tokyo Revengers, and you just get a
Get what it is.
yeah. It's like I don't know, man. The first like the hook carried the show to or the shit to relevancy, and then people didn't. By the time the honeymoon phase ended, is like the final arc for people because like I think it was fuck, was it season 1? I think the final arc was starting around like the end of that, and so people, you know, they get hyped up on this shit and then they read the entire manga and then they get to the last arc and then that shit was so bad it like snaps them out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess it's gonna get a full adaptation at this point. I'm just ready for that shit to be over. That'll be over.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer will be over. It's gonna be great. We'll be eating good with all the shonen no longer coming back.
Yeah, never.
Never.
Yeah, and I guess at this point, Tokyo Revengers is probably just getting a full adaptation, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, surely if they're gonna
There's
go,
no reason to think anything else, but
they're gonna go this far with it, they'll probably just finish it out.
that's just kind of crazy to think about. I guess it's not crazy to think about because
It
I
earned a
do
lot of
know,
money.
obviously, it's popular. It earned a lot of money somehow, even though it's in Disney Plus hell.
Well,
But
it's Disney Plus for the US, but like I don't know how much like the anime made, but it's the manga sales that matter the most with that type of shit.
that is also true. I don't know. I just feel like there's such better stuff that could have got full adaptation.
I mean, there is, but they're not showing the monkey, and so it doesn't matter.
Correct. Which is fair.
Is it fair? Not fair to the not fair to the good shit that should have had full adaptations.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on the latest season 2.
Yeah, never happening. Go. I still need to watch Elena episode 2. And also Clannad episode 2.
Yeah, you need to watch Clannad episode 2 through 23, and then Clannad After Story episode 1 through 22.
I don't remember signing up for After Story.
Absolutely not. I flipped for 6 months. Your ass signed up for After Story. Oh, but I don't know. Elena was disappointing because like shortly after season 1, we got like a fake note. We got a notification in the Discord for Elena, and they're like, "Oh my god, season 2 confirmed or whatever." And then eventually they pinged everyone again, like, guys, it was fake. Apparently, I'm sorry. And I'm like, god dang it, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Elena gets no season 2, but reincarnated as a sword gets that shit immediately after. Not that I particularly dislike the first season, but you know.
Yeah, it's nothing against Sword other than just
nothing against Fran. However, Fran shouldn't be getting to season 2 before Elena does. Yeah, there's a lot of goofy shit that gets season 2s. I feel like a lot of shows are getting more like split core, like split seat, I don't know. Not all of them like advertise as split core because like Danger Hearts, in my heart, its second season, quote second season, comes out in I want to say it's like I think it's the fall. The second season happens. So realistically, it's just split core, but they're not advertising it as a split core. But I feel like a lot of anime have been going down that route recently, where they have like they have the first season, and then unbeknownst to everyone, there's a second part sitting around the corner.
Yeah.
Like with Mononogatari, ahaha, which starts next season. So excited. Words cannot describe my devastation when I saw that chick got a second season announced.
I do think it's a good thing that a lot of stuff is coming out with the expectation of having multiple seasons.
Yeah, that's good. I just wish stuff I liked got that.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of Mononogatari. Granted, I came around on Dangers in my heart. I didn't like it at the start, but it got better by the end. Which I guess is like not a hot take. A lot of people did not like it to start. I think when it like started, it was like in the very low 7s on Mel, and now it's one of the higher rated of the entire season. So, you know, the classic. But so I don't drop things. I would drop that bitch after like an episode or two, probably, if I did.
Yeah, that's fair. It's I like to drop things just because I think it's not that my time is too valuable as much as it's just like I don't want to waste my time on things that I watched a couple episodes and just kind of know I'm not interested in.
No,
But
I mean, I don't blame anyone for dropping things. Like there's a world there's an alternative universe where I've watched everything that I actually want to watch because I don't watch all the bullshit that I hate. But I don't know. I'm fine with where I am because it allows me to have nuanced opinions, which is more fun than just liking everything.
Yeah, it's I imagine a bit of a mixed bag because you have to spend all that extra time on the Orients of the world, but then there are things that Dan Machi, great example.
Yep, I probably would
Might have
drop that
not
in season 2.
Dan Machi, but I know I dropped Dan Machi after season 2, and it took years and 2 seasons to be out before people were like, no, you should go back and watch it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nice having allows me to more understand what I like about what I do like, which makes script writing easier for me. That's probably the hardest part of like the creation, like the content creation that I do. Why am I sound out of that fucking account? God dang it. I went to because I recently finished my Medalist script, Medalist editing. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Probably I have to record voice record it, and then I have to decide how I actually want to put things together. But yeah, I have a script I think I'm proud of.
Good. It'll be a fun video. I have to debate if well, I assume you won't get too spoilery, so I could watch it. I was gonna say I'll have to debate if I'm gonna watch it as someone who hasn't read it, but then I was like, usually don't get particularly spoilery.
Yeah, I gave like there may be some like chapter 1 stuff, which is like basically episode 1 probably. And it's not like anything spoilery, like big spoilers. The fucking person who's skating on the key visual for the anime gets to skate. That type of shit. Yeah.
Which would be the more important things. Because I'm sure there are things you could spoil for someone that would be very important and very sad to get spoiled on. But off the top of my head, I feel like those are things you would have to be going out of your way to talk about.
Yeah, and like anytime I do like even for like when I do my anime videos, I tend not to go outside of like unless the video is like my Danmachi video. If you haven't watched all 4 seasons, you shouldn't be watching that. But unless you're trying to find a reason to get back into it, which I guess some people do, but generally I try not to use outside of like episode, like in my Cloverworks video, I didn't use anything outside of like episode 1 of the animes I was talking about. It's like Shadow's House would have just been Shadow's House season 1, episode 1 type footage.
Yeah.
So I try to keep that stuff in mind.
I think that's a pretty good rule, because even if I do see something that I'm like, oh, that's a bit of a spoiler, if I go watch episode 1 and then am like, oh, it's a clean slate now, that's a better feeling than knowing that, who knows how long into the series something's going to happen, and I just have the knowledge that it's going to be a thing.
Yeah. I try to keep that stuff in mind, because I know, like, I might be watching a video and then suddenly it's like, it's not spoiler, but then suddenly, boom, like, this happens. I'm like, wait, hold on. I didn't sign up for this. But yeah, we'll see. I'll probably get that done tomorrow, because I have a pretty easy work week, I guess. And slowly approaching AX. I'm debating bringing my laptop, because I think, I might shit out an Insomniacs video before AX, but then I still have my Heavenly Delusion video that I need to make, and I think by, not even think, I mean, by the time we're at AX, it will have finished. So maybe I'll script right there in the hotel, I don't know. But then I have to bring my laptop through customs. Not that I can just put it in a bag, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another piece of technology to be responsible for. I don't know if I want to do that. But yeah, it's 12 a.m. and I'm tired, so we're gonna end this episode. If you enjoyed this episode of the Gochuucast, then you should consider subscribing on the YouTube, or if you're on audio only, following us on whatever platform you may be using. Unfortunately, Spat couldn't be here this week, but he'll be back, so it's fun. Fuck, my brain died again. Just happened like 2 weeks ago with the outro, and I just keep forgetting it now. No one listens to the outro anyway. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.